Good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee with Bailey and Sandy. He comes in every morning to have coffee with us. I thought at least he should get to start the morning once. Say good morning. Woof, 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 woof. Okay, no sounds from Bailey. There you go. Thanks for being here, pal. No kidding. I don't know how he does it, but right before I push live, he comes flying in the door and bounces onto the couch. Happy Sunday, everybody. I know some of you aren't here with me live because you're at church. Good for you. Some of you aren't here because you're out shoveling snow. Ow. I'm sorry for you. Where should we start today? There's so many interesting things to talk about. Good morning, darling. Well, first of all, it is the birthday of a very dear friend of mine, Marta, and I mention this because it's also card reading day. Now, you have different ways of foretelling the future and making decisions. I know I have a magic 8-ball that I keep on hand all the time. But a few years ago, I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I had this friend, Marta, who's still my friend, who said to me, "Have you ever had a reading done?" And I said, "What's a reading?" Anyway, she introduced me to card reading. And for the next few years, we would go together every few months or so and just kind of check in and see how things were going in the psychic world. Well, unfortunately for me and for Marta, Marta moved away, and the person who we used to go to got sick or something and wasn't there for a while and then stopped doing it. Had her do a reading by phone once, but it wasn't quite the same. So I haven't had a reading in a really long time. And I got to tell you, towards the end there, she wasn't great. But at the beginning, she just was right about everything. I mean, everything. Anyway, it was kind of interesting. I don't know how that psychic things work, but I'm a fan. I'm not going to lie. I think it's really cool. So, to those of you who do like psychic readings and things like that, it's your day. Go have it done. Go do it. If I knew where to find Raven, that was her name. If I knew where to find Raven, I would get in touch with her today and go sit down and see what she has to say about. By the way, they say that a reading is only good for about 6 months. So you have to go like every 6 months. It's like having your teeth cleaned. You know what I mean? Every 6 months. And I think it's no coincidence that the person who introduced me to card reading has a birthday on National Card Reading Day. I don't think she even knows. I'm going to have to tell her. It's also Grain-Free Day and coincidentally, Sticky Bun Day. Okay, come on. I don't like sweets particularly, but how can you not enjoy a good sticky bun now and then? But grain-free sticky buns? Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. We had to make when I took home economics in junior high school and in high school, we didn't exactly get into gourmet cooking. I remember one of my first assignments was to make cinnamon toast. That's a tough one. First, you open the bread. Yeah, I mean, we did some pretty crazy things, but we did make sticky buns once. That might have been in high school home ec. I don't know, but the smell of them cooking, amazing. I can kind of imagine that smell right now. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. Hey, I was looking at this article yesterday on something like 40 things we bet you didn't even know. You know, like when you open a can of soda, maybe you already know this. That little pop top thing, you pop it up, but then when you put it back, the little hole in it is just the right size to put a straw in the can. That's what it was supposedly designed for. Most people don't even know that. There were a whole lot of things like that. But here's my favorite, and I actually already knew this. I don't even know when I learned it, but I'm amazed at how many people don't know this. And you don't have to leave morning coffee to go verify that I'm right. You can go do it later. Almost, not all, but almost all cars have a little arrow by the like next to the gas gauge on your dashboard. There's a gas gauge and there's a little arrow near it, and it either points right or left. And if you remember yesterday's word art, if you put your pencil in your hand and you're right-handed, you know which is the right. Anyway, if you look at that arrow, the way it points is the side of the car that your gas tank is on. Yeah, in case you forget a lot. And I know a lot of people do, but it's especially handy if you're driving someone else's car, or if you have a rental car and you want to pull in and get gas, but you don't know where the gas tank is. Look for the little arrow by the fuel indicator, and it will point to the side where the gas tank is. You're welcome. I knew you would enjoy that little factoid this morning. So here's what I found out. Today, in 1804, good morning, Henry. In 1804, a guy by the name of Richard Trevithick. I'm mentioning his name because this is his legacy. This is how he lives on, right? He was the first one to have a locomotive, a steam locomotive, actually run on a track, and he ran it on a track at the Penny Darren Iron Works in Wales. So you know how my brain works. One thing connects to another thing, and I'm thinking ironworks, Wales, England, iron. And I wanted to share with you about Iron Bridge. I don't know if you know about Iron Bridge. I've been to England many times now, but one of my very, very favorite memories of England is accidentally happening on a place called Iron Bridge. And Iron Bridge is actually the home of the very first cast iron bridge in the world. It is actually what I think of, and so do many other people, what I think of as the home of the entire Industrial Revolution. It was the first time something big like that was made out of iron. And think about everything that's been made out of iron since then. It's pretty amazing. Walking across that bridge, you can still walk across it. In fact, you had to pay a toll, I think, until like 1950. They were still collecting tolls. And I saw a sign of when it was first put up of the tolls they charged to go across. And there was even a toll for the Queen. I mean, a toll is a toll. You had to pay a toll no matter who you were. But pedestrians still had to pay tolls up until like 1950. And then for a while, it was in disrepair, and they were going to break it up and, just like sell off little pieces of it. And now I guess they're under a big reconstruction of it. But it's so big and beautiful and ornate. And it goes over this waterway that was like there in the Ice Age. Iron Bridge. If you go to England, or if you're there already, don't miss Iron Bridge. The thought of what happened as a result of Iron Bridge being there is absolutely astounding. Yes. Fritzi report. Should we do a Fritzi report? Sure. So yesterday I spoke to Fritzi on the portal. Can I just say to you, I do not understand how adorable that woman could possibly be. She is so precious, so smiley, and so full of joy. It's such a pleasure. It's such a pleasure. So yesterday, even though it was 80 degrees outside, she said inside it was still cold and she was bundled up in a very warm sweater and gloves. I got her all different kinds of gloves because her hands get cold a lot. And she was wearing these sweet little pink gloves, soft ones. And she told me she liked them because they were soft and they were pink. And I said I would buy her everything I could find that was soft and pink. But we were chatting and she started coughing. And she was having like a little coughing fit. So I asked her if she had anything to drink there, and she said no, she didn't. So I said, well, I'm going to call because I was talking to her on the portal. I said, I'll call your caregiver and have them bring you something to drink. What would you like? Oh, she didn't know what she liked. Well, I said, you used to like lemonade. Do you still like lemonade? Yeah, I still like it. I said, but lemonade might not be the best thing when you're choking. How about I get you water? And she just lit up. She's always loved water. So I called and I ordered water. They brought the water in. She drank some. The coughing stopped for a little while. And I said, Mom, you used to love Diet Coke. And she went like this. I did. And I said, do you still like Diet Coke? And she looked at me so seriously and she said, I think I do. I said, but they don't ever give you any there, do they? And she said, no. And I said, would you like me to bring you some tomorrow? Yes. So that's on my to-do list today. I have to go over to the home and drop off Diet Coke for Fritzi. There you go. That's what she'll be drinking today. You know what? What's it going to do? Rot her teeth? I mean, come on. She's 97 and a half years old and the lady wants Diet Coke. She gets Diet Coke and that's final. But she was just so cute yesterday. So I called my niece and I got her in on the call. And after a few minutes, my niece and I started talking and grandma just kind of sat there. And I realized, my goodness, we're leaving her totally out of the conversation. How rude. So I went like this to my niece and I looked at my mother and I said, Mommykins, do you feel like you're just watching TV? And she started laughing like it was the best joke I'd ever told her. Yes, yes, I do. Anyway, we put her back in the conversation. So she wasn't watching TV, she was on TV. It was awesome. I have a nice guy report today. Yeah. I have this new friend. Her name is Carrie. I don't think she's watching, but if anyone is who knows Carrie, we'll have her watch at least a replay of this morning because I want to toast my new friend Carrie for being the angel of the hour. Somehow I got Carrie's name from a girlfriend of mine who's very good friends with her mother. I didn't realize I knew her mother too, but we're not close. Anyway, Carrie, who is far younger and far more adept at using a computer, is the one who arranged vaccines, COVID vaccines, for all of us seniors who were having trouble doing it online. She has been amazing. When our vaccines got canceled because there wasn't enough vaccine, she got us new appointments. She went through the whole routine for so many of us. And yesterday I got a call from a friend of my daughter's whose mother also lives out here in the desert. They were stuck. And I sent my friend Carrie a message and said, look, I know you've done this for me and for gazillions of other people and friends of mine. If you have the time and the energy, I do have one more, but if you say no, it's okay. She wrote me back just like that. And she said, give me the name and the number. I'll take care of it. So Carrie, to you for all the good you're doing for those of us who need you so desperately to get our vaccinations. Thank you, darling. We are so grateful to you, Carrie Hoffman. Thank you. All right. Finishing up with the word art this morning. I'm always telling people, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. That worrying is useless. It doesn't do anything. Why worry? Worrying helps almost pretty much nothing, and it solves no major problems. But as I was reading up on worry, I found out that it can be valuable emotional preparation. VEP. Yeah, you're worrying might be preparing you for what comes next. So if you feel like you need to worry, go ahead and worry if it makes you feel good. If it doesn't make you feel good, knock it off. You know that. But if you feel like a little worrying now and then is good for you, it may be that that's how you prepare yourself emotionally. And if you need that, I support you 1,000%. I also support you 1,000% in having a really good cup of coffee and maybe a sticky bun this afternoon. What do you think? I have 4 hours of tennis coming, so I got to go get dressed. I love you guys, and I will see you when the new week begins. It's almost the end of the month. This is like zooming by, and people are starting to get vaccinated and healthier. And mwah, I love you. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.